Okay, so how circumcision degraded mankind's mojo. It's a real simple thing that most people will probably piece together immediately. But one thing's for sure is that the elephant trunk associated with ugliness and things like that was only described to the surface. The elephant trunk on the male organ, sex organ, was actually supposed to be filled in full capacity. You imagine that you're supposed to be born with a giant member, and that member is your sword. It's a gun. It's your bottom chakras, making yourself a whole being, and you're supposed to have a giant member that fills up the capacitor of the sleeve. Can you imagine that? If they cut the sleeves and you don't have your mojo intact, you've got to work on it. You've got to build it up. You've got to stretch the skin and grow the skin back out. But that's what I'm talking about. See what I'm saying? See that? That's natural nature happening right there to this entity right here. You want to see another one? So that's what I'm saying, is that the root chakra, that's the asshole. That being is irritated. When that being comes out, that being is going to be irritated. It's like Inside Out, the movie. The crotch says, "Hey, touch my body. Ooh, baby. Ooh, touch me. Oh, yeah." That's the sword. That's the lover. So check it out. So here's another one. It's big, massive, big arms. Look at this. It's got little feet on the sides, right? Little feet like that, like a cartoon. And it's got a big area here, and big phallus, like boom. It's like, oh, and then this thing here. So it's like, oh, no. See what I'm saying? He's huge. It's this big dude right here. It's this member, 2 feet, big arms, and conscious entity, windows to the soul up at the top, like a big, like one of those dun 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 dun. You know what I mean on Mario? So it's interesting. These trees, they're very interesting. Their atomical structures are interesting. But one thing's for sure is that they've got their mojos intact. And you can't really take a tree's mojo away. I mean, because if you cut it one way, the tree's just going to grow back and grow it back. And it's got more conscious entities within itself than you can shake a stick at. So you can't really get rid of a tree's mojo. You can't control a tree's mojo. But the living being, the man and the woman, you can control theirs. So the same chemical disruption before cutting off this elephant sleeve that took your mojo away in tandem with the other parts. The other parts are just chemical disruptions, frequencies, chemical inductions into your food supply, things like that. So ultimately, that sleeve that we've been thinking is ugly all this time, it is the full capacity of your full, real, true size manhood, of your real, true self. And they cut it off when you was a little kid, when you was a baby, just so you wouldn't grow into a real full size adult. Now that's fucked up. That's fucked up. In this society, it makes you wonder if anybody that was conceived into any of these types of families, saying hi to the trees like they're people. Amazing. All right, so anyways, if anybody was conceived into these types of families, you got to know that if you're going to be climbing the ranks within these societies, that they're going to leave you intact, because at some point, this mojo of yours is going to have to come to full capacity for you to be at your full status. So I don't know of any people that have that still, because I don't look at other people's penises, so I don't fucking know. But there's people out there that do know that there's people out there with their thing intact. and nobody keeps it intact. And nobody does that. The whole status quo is to cut the mojo down. So there you go, folks. That is the truth behind the Abraham story of saying that it was just ugly and all that. No, they degraded your mojo with poisons, and then they degraded your mojo again with your flesh and cut it off so you wouldn't grow it to your full capacity. That's what it was. All right, so for the finale, I'm going to walk up on this tree here. I want to show you guys this tree here that I've always thought was cool. All right, take a look at the back of the head of this one. This is like a giant cranial, and it's tapers down like that. Let's take a look. See what I'm saying? It's like two pits in there, and then there's like a big fucking smile on the bottom. Shit is a fucking trip. So this whole conscious signature is what we see, and then the electrics that come off of it say, hey, I'm here in the first place. Otherwise I wouldn't see it. It would be hiding. I wouldn't be able to see that. But if you keep walking, see how it breaks up and it's just like a big snout with two eyes? Man, that's fucking amazing. And you come around here and it's just a back cranial head with dreadlocks. Antennas, look, check it out. Antennas coming off and antennas sticking up at the top, completely grounded in the earth and connecting. So they got it all figured out. Like, life is pretty simple. They ground themselves. They nurture each other. They nurture the people. They nurture everybody. They nurture each other. And they love each other. And they're intact.